good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 26 of the Smite Update. My name is Octane Pro, and joining me, as always, is the man across the pond with the shiny head from Cash Cab. We do have Wristy. Wristy, how's it going?
Not bad, it's not bad. Yeah, when I got on and spoke to Octane a minute ago, I went, I've gone back to my Cash Cab roots, and I now have the shiny forehead.
That's
and,
right.
As everyone can kind of see.
That's right. Well, folks, if you guys are checking out this episode of the Smite Update for the first time, or if you've been here every week, pretty much the way that things work is the way that the show goes on, guys, is we go ahead. Your voice is mirroring. What does that mean? Sorry, I'm just checking in chat real quick. Mirroring Octane. I want to make sure it's not too crazy. Audio and video okay in chat, guys? Go ahead and check. You gotta scare me when I see stuff like that. I'm like, no, you're fine. He has two windows open. Oh.
Yeah, I'm about to say it sounds fine to me when I put the stream up.
Okay. I was like, what's going on? So anyways, way to interrupt there, folks. Gotta love it. That's okay. Love to ASDF. Love you too. Anyways, guys, if you're joining us for the first time, this is a Smite Update. We are on week number 26. We've done this for 26 weeks. Pretty cool. The longest running podcast within the Smite scene right now. And the way that the show works is, and I saw some people in chat were a little confused. What happens is we go over the patch that came out last week before the next week. And what we do is we give ourselves like 6 days to play the patch. Whereas, you know, Hi-Rez Bart last week on the 25th, he went ahead, or 24th, I'm sorry, went ahead and went over the notes as to what you guys should expect. But you didn't hear anything after that. It was like, all right, here's the notes, but there's no, like, real experience in there. Like, okay, I played it, and this is what I found. Or I played this, and this is what I'm finding. So that's what the show is about. We're going into detail about the last patch that just came out, the current patch that you're playing on the live servers, and we go into detail about, you know, the different items. We'll go through the patch notes, discuss them, and then they're going to talk about different things we've experienced. Big topic is the respawn timers as well, so we'll go into that too. And then tomorrow or Wednesday, you'll see Bart come out with releasing the latest patch notes, and then we'll have another show next week. So we go through the patch notes, we do an esports update to give you guys a rundown of the latest esports news, and then we also go into some community content to give you guys an update on a few things that we'd like you guys to check out from the community. Finally, at the very end of this show, please make sure that you guys do go ahead and check it out. I have an interview, pre-recorded interview with Mortality ESports, a very new team to the scene. They were just picked up by Mortality ESports, picked them up, and they were actually an imaginary team previously. It's an EU team, so shout-outs to Wristy and all those EU people. And so you guys will see that interview at the very end of the show. And then and then right before that, we'll have our 400 gem giveaway. So enough about me. Wristy, what have you been up to the past week? Have you played a little bit?
I've played, yeah, a little bit. Not too much, not as much as I'd hoped. But actually, what I just noticed as well when we were doing the stream was I saw the new Summer Kong, and I'm sitting there going, so when are we actually going to see him? Because we've seen the concept art, but we haven't. Nothing's been said about him coming out. That would be interesting to see when he actually comes.
That's right. Well, Hi-Rez is very good at kind of getting people excited about things, and then they let it, you know, kind of sit stagnant for a while.
Have a couple of gods before they go, well, you know what's coming, but we're not going to give it to you just yet. So no, leave it out. So no, I've been playing a fair bit. I keep playing. It's one of them things as well. I keep playing like funny other games, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap! I've played a whole night of that. So I need to come back as well. So I'm terrible that way.
Yeah, definitely understand. I've been playing a pretty good amount this week. Let's see, I'm trying to think. I played throughout the week. I did cast on Wednesday, the 3vs3 Clash of the Gods tournament, and then on yesterday, actually, I now am happy to announce that I am streaming on Smite Game every Sunday from 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. So make sure you guys do come and hang out. We did a Steel Series mouse giveaway last night on Smite Game, so that was fun. Just as a celebration for being on there for the first time, so it was pretty cool. Before we go ahead and jump into the patch notes, guys, we'd like to go ahead and ask you guys to go ahead and check out one of the sponsors of this stream, Tweaked Audio. Please go over to tweakedaudio.com and purchase some amazing noise-canceling earbuds. That's what Wristy and I are both using. You can go ahead and use the code OctanePro over at tweakedaudio.com, and you guys can get 33% off plus free shipping anywhere in the world for high quality, noise reducing gaming earbuds. So go ahead and show your support. Go over to tweakedaudio.com and check that out. I'll go ahead and post it in stream if you are viewing this live. And yeah, so Wristy, please go ahead. Let's go ahead and dive into the start of the show, going over the patch notes from September 25th.
So we got a new Erez skin, which I kind of like. It's kind of bulky, blocky-ish. Just the diamond sword skin.
Yep.
Now, if I played Erez a bit more, I'd get it. But obviously I can't. I don't get premium skins unless I'm actually going to use it that often.
Sure.
But it looks really good. I like it. It's kind of some of the premium skins coming out now are actually a lot worth buying. It wasn't so much before. Like the new Loki one, already got it. That was my first premium skin I've actually bought. But now the new diamond skin for Erez looks pretty cool. I quite like it.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a big fan of the Blood Eagle one that we did see on Thor released a while back, actually. It's been a long time, actually.
Actually, I'd have that as well. I forgot.
And I really like that one. And so I really like that they finally came out with the Diamond Sword one. We knew it was coming. I mean, you saw the Blood Eagle, then you saw them kind of take Loki's Infiltrator skin and make a few tweaks to it. And it's very much based off of like the whole tribes type of theme. And then they went ahead and released the Erez one. So I really like it. It's pretty cool. I like how his abilities and his spells reflect the new skin. So like it's not just like here's a new skin, but all of his abilities look the same. There's actually the changes have been made. So I'm actually really happy with that.
Yeah, that's cool. We've had some adjustments been made to the matchmaking algorithm for parties in which the party members have a large spread in their player level. So, like, if you had like a level 6 and you're level 30 and there's maybe a level 15 in there,
sure,
it would try and even it out somewhat. It'd still not be too good for the bloke that's level 6, but it would try and even it out the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Combat respawn timers. I've actually been hoping for this for a while. They've lowered it down from 75 to 55 seconds at maximum level. This, I think, is a great thing to do because, like, I've complained about it before that once you get the fire giant, if you get like a deicide or anything like that, you lose 2 objectives. Well, you lose the fire giant and 2 towers and possibly a phoenix before you respawn. So that really sucks. Now, I don't know what you think about it, but I love it.
Well, I think the conquest of respawn timers go hand in hand actually with the fire giant buff. So go ahead and go over the fire giant buff, and then I'll go ahead and comment.
I actually really hate the fire giant buff. Really hate it. Now, I'll just go over the buff first of all. They've taken the fire giant buff and they've boosted it like super strong. Well, you say a little bit, but super strong. So the health regen's been increased from 3% every 5 seconds to 4%. The mana regen's gone up from 1% every 5 seconds to 2%, so that's no major deal. But this is the worst bit, I think, that they've done. The buff gained from defeating the fire giant now includes 15% increased damage versus tower and phoenixes. When you've got the fire giant buff, towers and phoenixes don't last anyway. Don't last that long as it is. So they don't need it.
Well, one thing... Go ahead, sorry.
Now, I like the respawn timers come down. It gives the opposing team... It gives you more incentive to go for the fire giant. Or you can be back in time to contest it if you've just had a deicide.
Yeah.
Or at least if you get a deicide, they get the fire giant. You can kind of contest the first tower or at least the second tower. Now they've given like increased bonus damage. That tower's going to last like 2 seconds. It lasts 5 as it is. Now it's going to last 2. It's a bit overkill. So.
Well, my thoughts are there. First off, it seems like the fire giant buff was added, and then the cooldown the cooldown on the respawn timer was then adjusted. And the reason I say that is because when you get the fire giant late game, it's very strong in the first place. But what they did was they went ahead and add this increased damage versus towers and phoenixes. So it makes the fire giant late game even more valuable. And most of the time you see fire giants started not when your opponents have like full grouping of their teammates up. It's usually started, you know, when there's like 1 or 2 people or a full deicide has occurred. So I feel like the respawn timer was a complete reaction to that, saying, okay, if we're going to make fire giant even stronger versus objectives, we need to make the respawn timer faster so that teams have an opportunity to go ahead and get back into the game faster in order to counter it. Because think of it, you have a deicide, a team could get the fire giant and then just completely melt all the leftover objectives with the towers and the phoenixes. So I feel like one thought came, and then there was kind of a change made after that in order to change it up. The only other benefit I can see there with the fire giant change, as well, is because it makes it more valuable in like mid game, and you know, as soon as that fire giant is available, because now it's like, okay, we can melt towers even faster now. So I don't know, I'm a little up in the air about it. It's gonna make I feel like it's gonna make the late game drag out a little bit longer, because you're not gonna have those huge opportunities then when the whole team is decided to go ahead and push forward to win the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I've always thought the fire giant was a bit too powerful as it is. It's as soon as you see someone get a fire giant, the game turns around like that. Literally, you can barely contest them. If you go in to defend a tower, you're pretty much a tower's not going to defend you. Phoenixes aren't that bad; they've got a bit more health, so it's not too bad. But a tower is pretty much just forfeit. So they burn down too quickly. Now they say with the respawn timer, they're going to evaluate it and see what the impact is over the length of the games.
Yeah.
I feel that they should have done these changes separately and not together, because what's going to happen is you're going to get maybe an increased time with the respawn timers for the game, but then the fire giant buff is going to just destroy the game again and rip it right down. So literally people are going to get the fire giant buff and then go, we can take out the tower in 2 shots.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly promoted and prompted the fire giant change in order for the additional damage to towers and phoenixes, more of the objectives there. I mean, fire giant late game is still amazing, and I guess anytime during the game it's amazing. So I don't really know what prompted that. Like, why did they go ahead and move forward with that? As for the cooldown timer, I can understand why they're playing with it a little bit, going ahead to see, you know, how it impacts the game. The games are definitely longer. I mean, I feel like they are. There's more missed opportunity because you got 20 seconds less of a team being completely wiped out. So not really sure why they went that direction, but yeah, any last comments on that change?
No, I think possibly like the respawn timers maybe for the competitive scene wise was more aimed for that, because if you get a deicide in the competitive team, people were like literally few kills or a deicide, bang, get the fire giant.
Yeah.
In casuals, not so much. But yeah, the competitive scene gets hit with a long respawn timer a lot harder than obviously the casuals would.
Sure, sure. Moving on from there, guys, we'll go ahead and jump into the active section. All actives have had their prices changed to 300 gold for each tier. This makes active items more expensive at the first tier and less expensive at the top tier. So what we're seeing now is you're actually seeing tiers because of the 300 gold. You will start to see people purchasing items or actives a little bit later. We did see people kind of rush directly to actives early game, but now with the 300 gold, you might as well wait until like mid or late game and stack up your items earlier. So some changes made there. Any thoughts in your direction on that gold change to 300 across the board?
It's just easy for people. It's like dumbing it down a bit. It's just easy for people to go, all right, if I need the next level, I need 300 gold.
Sure.
I know they wanted, well, obviously they wanted their actives to be a really strong item, so maybe early on they kind of slowing you up.
Yeah.
I still don't find it too much of a problem. Like, I'd still pick up Hog and a jungler and potions and Boomer's mask. I got no real problem about it. That extra 50 gold doesn't really hurt you. But it's a lot cheaper now to get level 3.
Sure.
A lot cheaper.
Sure.
So you get that a lot earlier most of the time.
Yeah. Furthermore, we had a change to Blink go on this past week where the cooldown of this item has been increased. So from early game, it's now 60 to 90. So you have a 30-second increase early game. And I can understand this. Blink is extremely strong. And the fact that, you know, they went ahead and made that change early games, they're seeing people. I mean, I saw people pick up Blink to start out. So as soon as you started to get your levels up and you're still in lane, once you get level 5, it's like, bam, you can initiate even more. So early game, 60 to 90. And late game, 30 to 45. So late game, you're only seeing about a 15-second difference. But regardless, Blink has been so good, and I can really understand this. What are your thoughts? Do you like this change, or do you think that they should have stuck with what it was at?
Yeah, I've always thought Blink had too short of a cooldown. It's so useful for moving around. I'd even picking it up sometimes on a couple of junglers, just literally just to get around quicker.
Oh, sure,
and just to get through walls. So it worked out really well that way. So yeah, and the fact that at level 3, I always thought, really, literally, like it's like twice the cooldown of a jump, and it's just free. You just it's just gap closers drive me nuts sometimes. But with obviously the cripple change to it, kind of dumbs it down a bit as well. So
Yeah.
it's just something else to kind of take note with. But
Sure.
45 seconds at the top end, a bit better than 30.
Yeah.
I think it's still only 4 seconds you need to be out of combat for to use it. So it's not too bad. It should be all right.
Yeah, definitely. And moving on from there, Eye of Providence, we did hear Erez actually comment on how they're trying to get people to use this more and more. And so they're making a ton of changes to it. So the wards at all tiers now remain for 3 minutes or until killed. So there isn't really, depending on what tier you are, determines the length of time. It's 3 minutes across the board. At tier 2, it has a 60-foot radius of ground targets. In tier 3, it has an 85-foot for movement and wards. So, 85 feet's huge. Like, I was playing around with it the other day, and just the distance is ridiculous. So they're definitely trying to promote Eye of Providence. Do you see yourself buying this at all, Wristy, or not really?
Never.
Yeah.
I honestly, to be honest, the real usefulness for your active slots to then use it for wards that you can buy elsewhere. In fact, fair enough, it's slightly bigger, and the sentry wards last slightly longer, but to have the Aegis in a fight to keep you alive. It's got its benefits. I can kind of see it, like, obviously with the 85 feet, because now if you put the ward in the right place, you can cover the middle harpies and the gold fury at the same time.
Sure.
Sort of. It's one of the ones, though, in the competitive scene, they're so used to just buying wards, they're not that fussed. I don't see them trading it in for, obviously, like an Aegis or Sprint or anything like that, or Blink. Maybe a support will pick it up to keep, like, bumming around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know they're trying to boost this up to try and get people to use it a bit more. But it's just one of the ones. If you've got an active item that does what a consumable does, most people go for the consumable just so they can actually use it anywhere else. So.
Yeah, I myself never. I don't see myself going for this because I feel like I could buy another more valuable item. So I don't necessarily see myself going for Eye of Providence when I can pick up something else. So this is kind of my afterthoughts there. We'll kind of see. It might be one of those items that kind of falls off. Not really sure. Finally, Fist of Gods. The duration of the stun has been reduced from 1.5 to 1. And I love getting this ability. I love having that additional stun regardless of what god I'm playing on. It's another CC ability. So it's always really nice. But I can understand why they went from 1.5 to 1, because having another stun in the first place is super powerful. But then, at 1.5 seconds is a long time. So I like this change. I think it was definitely needed. Have you tested around with it much or not really?
I never had a problem with really the Fists of Gods, like 1.5 seconds. So to be honest, I can understand the 1 second, but yeah, it fits in with a lot more stuff. Like you get the Agni, I think it's the Agni stuns 1 second, and a few other ones. So 1 second across the board, kind of, it feels a bit more standard in a way, kind of what you'd expect. So yeah, I never really had a problem with it too much. More the fact that you'd see it go off and you'd go, oh.
Yeah, right? Right.
You go,
and plus, when you use that, you're so close to the other person. You're already on top of them. It's not like you're stunning at a distance like Agni with a lot of his abilities. The stun is you're not right on top of them. But with Fist of the Gods, you are. You're right on top of that person. So that's 1.5 seconds of straight damage with somebody right on top of you.
Oh yeah, you can do so much with it.
So let's go ahead and jump into the god changes we saw this past week, where we had Bakasura, and there's a lot that could be said about him. Regurgitate, the duration of the slow and cone attack has been reduced from 6 to 5. Using Purification Bees will now immediately remove Cripple from the user. So, once again, with Bakasura, he did suffer a nerf here. Whereas the Purification Beads will take full effect and remove the Cripple, which it should have in the first place. I guess I'll throw this over to you. Did you feel that Bakasura needed a nerf, or did you?
I think they probably just thought that it lasted too long. I know I used him a couple of times, and it was just like when his ult was up, just hold down that click and keep going. But to be honest, like 1 second here, 1 second there, it's not really a major thing. I think they just kind of thought it's just lasting a bit long, especially when you get like Butcher's Blades up. Oh, the damage. Yeah, it's just unreal. I think Purification Beads change was just a bug. Mm-hmm. Literally, it just obviously just wasn't working right. Other than that, no, I can kind of, I give it to them. They've obviously just thought maybe just a little bit too long, so they just brought it back. So it was just a little slight balance change, but nothing too major.
Sure.
The next one.
Oh, it's okay. Something I noticed. Let's go back to Bakasura first. Something I noticed when I was actually going through a lot of the replays and watching the past week's tournament for the NNA. Wow, that's like a tongue twister. Was that Bakasura was either banned or picked up first in almost every game. Something I realized, I don't know where all of a sudden the Bakasura like swap went. Like all of a sudden he's in huge demand, but I can see it because he does so much damage. Like he gets on top of a bruiser and he melts a bruiser. When he hits a tank, some tanks, depending on the level difference, are just melting to him. So Bakasura right now is very good and very dangerous, and I'm actually seeing a lot of competitive teams actually ban him first off the back. Along with, as I saw, Kronos actually being banned a lot this past weekend too. So. I don't know. I feel like Kronos just people don't know where to put him, so it's better just to ban him.
Kronos is very deadly if you don't shut him down early. I think Bakasura has come into the competitive scene more because they've added cripple now. Once you add a cripple to a god, it's actually very difficult to run away from Bakasura. So it's like, oh my god, what am I going to do? Especially when he fires out that armor, it's just like I was saying, so much damage coming out. It's just going to hurt people. I'm actually just pulling up Bakasura now just to actually have a quick look at a few recent changes. Yeah, just Butcher Blades hurts. That true damage will just rip you apart, and the fact that just the movement speed from his stacks. They changed the debuff for his. They also changed the debuff from his takedown, which is his leap. Instead of obviously reducing the damage, it was reducing the protection. So if you landed on anybody, hit Butcher's Blades. Then, you did regurgitate, jumped on them, then butchered blades. You just destroyed anybody. So that's so much damage output. I think that's why they pulled it down. Butcher's blades last 6 seconds, so would have lasted the full ultimate duration. So obviously they've kind of brought the regurgitate down 5 seconds, so it gives you 1 second to activate the butcher's blades, and then the 5 seconds to finish out the rest of the duration with the ultimate. So that's where that's coming from. I believe.
Moving on to the next guy, we saw Naja, another change. I feel like we've had a lot of changes to Naja over the past few weeks here. The universal ring toss. The universe ring toss.
Correct change. Not
the correct change. Okay. A lot of people are up in the air. Pretty much the first thing we saw was this ability can now bounce to each target multiple times. So if you guys remember, there was a change done where that was taken out, so you couldn't bounce to several targets. Back to several targets. So it would go like hit target 1, 2. And then that was it. It wouldn't go 1, 2, 1. So we saw this change. On top of that, this ability now deals 30% reduced damage on each sequential hit on the same target. So I'll throw it over to you, Wristy, because I know you're excited as a player of Naja a lot. Are you glad we're at least seeing some additional damage on that additional hit?
I love the fact that they put the bounces back in, because Naja was very kind of niche in the way that he could fight. How long has Naja been in the game? And I'm still calling it a she.
That's
Dude,
right.
Cut your hair.
That's right. That's right. It's a he.
Yeah. Because Naja would do a lot better versus 2 people than she would versus 1. Just with that extra damage.
Sure.
I thought it was kind of like the niche kind of situations that he was very good in. The 30% reduced for each bounce may be a bit much. I did throw it out a bit, and it kind of like, okay, so the damage is kind of gone now. I'd probably think 30% is maybe a bit much. I'd have probably seen possibly a 10% reduction for each bounce would have been a bit better. But
somewhere they could start out though, you know. They could start out the 30, and they can always scale it up to 50 if they're finding that he's not doing as that's right, that he's not doing so well. But I don't think Naja's gonna have an issue regardless. As long as you have that additional hit with her universe ring toss, I think she'll be good to go.
Yeah, it's also good for applying the debuff, because the debuff, obviously, if it only hitting once now it's hitting more times, so it's always good there. It's always like with math. You always go a bit more and then pull it back. It's just trying to find the mean and stuff like that. It's good. I'm glad to see the bounces back. Obviously, it brings the skill back into Naja. Stops making it. Like I say, it dumbed it down when they brought the other patch. Oh, you can only hit it once. So when do I use the universe ring? Every time it's off cooldown.
Oh well, yeah. With the bounce back, completely understandable.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that was fun. Tia the Lawbringer now. Issue's been fixed where one of his stances, the ultimate, was prevented from firing because of cripple. So they just fixed a bit of a bug there, because his armor is usable during cripple now.
Sure.
Vulcan,
Use as an escape. I can understand that.
yeah, it's. I can understand ultimates getting out of cripple because they're ultimates. That should always be the way. There should never really be a problem. Vulcan had a slight change with his thumper. An issue was fixed where the turret was only dealing damage to enemies within a cone, and now it will deal damage to a 360-degree radius as intended. So I'm guessing the thumper's the one that slows.
Correct.
Yeah.
And people were complaining that like they didn't like the more recent Vulcan change, but now that we found out that hey, well the Vulcan change where his first ability wouldn't be doing as much damage, but the cooldown was more often, they would have been like, oh Vulcan, he's so weak now. Well, when his thumper is only really taking effect with a cone area, not actually a 360-degree, I can see how people are complaining about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's well, if you expected it to do damage in a major radius and then it just doesn't do anything, it's like something's broken. What's
Facepalm! Facepalm. Definitely. Well, guys, if you guys are just joining us, we just finished up going over the last week's patch notes. We kind of had about 6 days to play it. Kind of give our thoughts on a few of the changes that did come out. We're now going to jump into our next section of our show, which is the esports update, and kind of give you guys a rundown of what happened this past week within the scene. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, we have the North American scene here, and I'll go ahead and swap over in full screen here. You can see the brackets. We did have Team Dignitas taking first, and then second place Cognitive Gaming, and third place Exodus Esports. And something I want to point out is if you guys take a look over at this section here, you can see we had Cognitive Gaming NA versus Cognitive Gaming EU in the North American bracket. It was kind of interesting. Cognitive Gaming EU played on the NA servers. They beat Silver Snakes right in Group F, went on to play Cognitive Gaming, and it wasn't even fair. It was like a surrender after like 15 minutes. Cognitive Gaming NA just completely dominated it. One could say one team is better than the other, but then the whole server discussion does come up in regards to who did better on one server over the other. But anyways, Cognitive Gaming NA ended up moving the way up the brackets, and something to talk about with the finals with Team Dignitas versus Cognitive Gaming in the finals is Game 1, Team Dignitas destroyed. Like it was something ridiculous. It was like 27-4 or something like that. And then moving on from there. The second game, Cognitive Gaming came out of the gates and just dominated in the second game there, and so Team Dignitas actually surrendered like halfway through the game, like a 15-minute mark. So we jumped to Game 3 of the finals there, and Cognitive Gaming was actually winning. Like the entire, I think it was after the 7-minute mark, Cognitive Gaming was winning, and then you jump to like the 18-minute mark, Cognitive Gaming was still winning, up by like 4 or 5. But then you jump to like the 33-minute mark, and Team Dignitas ended up dominating and destroying Cognitive Gaming in a team fight, getting a full deicide to go ahead and turn the game around and win, even though they were behind with the underdog. So pretty cool finals there in the NA scene. Jumping over to the EU scene, you guys can go ahead and see we had SK Gaming getting first, Bipolar Method getting second, and Epsilon Esports getting third. And then we actually have Exposed Secrets in there as fourth. So pretty cool stats there. I didn't get a chance to completely watch all of the these games like I did on the NA side, but I will be next week. So don't worry, guys. We'll get some more of that information in there. And if you guys want to see all this information, please go over to esports.smitegame.com to go ahead and check that out. Lots of information over there. That is Hi-Rez Studios esports site. So make sure that you guys do go check that out. You can check out when the next tournaments are coming up. You can sign up over there. You can check out stats. And I was just over there. I want to point out, by the way, if you look over there, the team rankings for Team Dignitas NA, Wristy, 64-8. 64-8.
I'm just about to bring it up. I keep shutting it down like straight away because it's not a stream issue that they've got. As soon as you go onto the team section, I get like Hebo, Taylor Swift all the time now. I think it's just they put it into the website just to wind me up.
Just for you.
But yeah, 64-8. Yeah, Dignitas have a very it's just a team really. You've got Zatman that loves to split push all the time.
Yeah.
He's always on a tower. He's like Game Hunter and stuff like that in this. They're always pushing a tower somewhere, keeping it down. I'd love to see Game Hunter. Who's he? SK, innit? No, that's Cognitive, isn't it? Game Hunter.
Well, yeah, SK. I mean, Cognitive Gaming EU. I mean, they still have a good record, 56-19. But I just still can't believe the fact of Team Dignitas is 64-8. Like,
but they were also the oldest team here, and the fact that they did like, it's half of Root, a bit of Curse, and a bit of. It's a bit of like all the top teams in one thing. So
sounds like a good recipe. Put in a little salt and stir it around, and off you go.
Yeah, pretty much. So they obviously they had all that experience. They know how to work harder. They do put the hours in. So it kind of paid off as well for them. And obviously you can see it as well as when they get into matches. Sometimes they just destroy you. If they get the early lead, it's like we ain't going to come back from this. They're very good at pulling games back.
Yeah.
And they're also good at keeping the games ahead and pushing them a lot further. So it's always really good to see. Now, the one with the Cognitive Gaming and Cognitive EU now.
Yeah.
I was when I first brought the stream up, I was like, they've messed up here. And then I looked at it and went, oh, it is actually both them. So I was very curious to see what was going on. I didn't really pay too much attention because I was doing some work at the time. Yeah. But it's definitely that ping issue. I'd like to see more cross-region. I know it's really weird. I'd like to see more cross-region like teams coming into like the different tournaments, like Dignitas into the EU, just to try and maybe do some of that ping stigma and actually keep going and see what actually happens.
Can you imagine like Team Dignitas comes to the EU side and doesn't end up winning it, and it's like, oh, like they didn't win it, and maybe that's why they don't do it. Like they're concerned about their image.
Before. I remember Curse did that. Yeah, Curse did that. They went, all right, we're going to play in the NA, the EU side this week, and never actually did the NA, and then they got destroyed because of the ping.
Well, and the pings have gotten a little bit better, which I'm happy to see that, but they're still not at a great place yet. And I think the only spot that we're actually going to see cross-server real dominance is when, and actually see everybody come together, is the $100,000 tournament that Hi-Rez kind of promoted months ago, 6 months ago more, but then hasn't set a date on it yet. So I think once they do, it'll be cool because then you'll have the NA scene, the EU scene, and then you'll have the Asian scene by then.
Well, yeah, that'll be like fantastic. Oh, great! I've just put my headphones on. No, that'll be fantastic to actually see. But we can. I was thinking with the ping as well that this is why we separated the regions because ping sucked.
Oh yeah.
So I can't wait to get everybody in the LAN setting. That's especially putting the EU versus the NA. You're really going to see the difference in, or that and the Asian. You're going to see the different types of metas going against each other. Especially just the fact that everybody's used to how everybody else plays. Throwing in some like stuff into the mix will be quite.
Yeah, if the $100,000 tournament is in North America, I'll definitely be going to it, regardless of where it is. But a part of me just got this feeling like Hi-Rez is going to do it in Asia because of the Tencent partnership.
Do it in Europe. It's cheaper for me to get there.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I just have this weird feeling like, hey, part of the partnership is this giant tournament's going to be over there, and in order to promote it over in that entire scene. And I'm like, I really hope not. Like Smite is an NA and EU grown tournament. NA or EU grown game, and more NA. With just the way things have worked out. But all my love to the EU scene.
I think there's more EU teams, yeah?
Liar. Well, anyways, guys, that's the end of our esports update section. Let's go ahead and jump into this week in Smite with Wristy.
So we got, obviously, the upcoming competitive and casual tournaments, the Google Doc that's been put up everywhere. Yep. So everything's still the same as usual. We've got Clash of the Gods Wednesday, French Weekly. I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, you said you were going to last episode.
I just want to listen to French people commentate. That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
The French Weekly. Then also it'd be quite good for me to actually cast that because we'll actually have some English commentary then, which would really help.
There you go. There you go.
Denial Casual EU and official NA Weekly on Saturday, and Sunday it's the official Weekly EU and the Denial NA. So it's pretty standard. Nothing really new coming up at all yet. So I'd like to see some more stuff like that. So we've got the 3v3s. There's not really another like 5v5. Well, so I suppose Denial's got the casual 5v5 Smite Tube's got the 3v3, and then you've got Hi-Rez have obviously got the major.
Well, did you see? I don't know if you saw. I guess we could say Smite Tube actually is going to be doing an EU one now, a 3v3. They tried it 1 week and it didn't do so well, so they're trying to relaunch that. So they are trying to push to get more EU teams to sign up for the 3v3. So make sure you guys check that out. I think you see it over at SmiteTube.com now. So hopefully we have some EU players stepping it up in the 3v3 scene.
And then we got Code Green. I don't see it this week. No, it's not actually on this week, is it? Well, it's not in the actual thing, so it might still be on. So check over at tmmonster.com and actually see if it's actually on, which I believe it is. It's on like every week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't go too much out of the way, so it'll be fine.
Well,
so
excellent.
Everything's coming up.
Excellent. Well, now, guys, we're going to dive into one of the last sections of our show here. Well, one of the last few is the weekly community Smite content. This is where we go out, find some content that we want you guys to pay attention to that maybe you guys didn't get a chance to see. So let's go ahead and take a look. First thing I wanted to show you guys was a post by Hi-Rez Stu titled Stats of the Day, Top Winning Percentage Among Hunters. That's kind of your ranged AD. They're labeling as hunters. And you can see here Shablanke, 54.31%. Artemis, 52.7%. Cupid, 52.4%. Neath, 49%. On her, 49%. Apollo, 49%. So you can kind of see here that Shablanke is actually in the lead there when it comes down to our hunters. Wristy, what are your thoughts? Did you expect to see Shablanke actually taking the lead with something like this?
Well, I'm more surprised at the Artemis one, actually. At 52%. I'm seeing again. Really?
That's because only like 2 people play her. So, you know,
yeah,
1 won, 1 lost. Good to go.
What you'll get with Shablanke, actually, is because, obviously, we don't see him in the competitive scene that much. You won't get a lot of random casual people trying to, like, mimic the competitive scene with Shablanke. So the only people that are playing him are people that experience with him or actually practice with him quite a bit. And that's kind of how that's going to work out. So that's why you get the unorthodox ones at the top, because obviously the good people actually playing them. And then obviously on her, everybody plays, Neath, everybody plays, and Apollo, everybody plays. So that's why they're at the bottom. And that ultimate from Shablanke is just like...
Well, the global ultimate's amazing. It doesn't matter what game type you're playing. It's so effective on a team. And
it's fantastic in Arena.
Oh my gosh, I was playing Arena the other day. I was on Smite Game, I think, and I was streaming on Smite Game, and I was like raging because literally this Shablanke was just like melting. Like he had so much mana, so it's just like bing, 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 done, bing, 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 done. I was like, oh my gosh, like the late game is so good.
He's scaling so strong. I think he's still the strongest AD, like in damage wise, with the scaling that he has.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure. I think he's still there, or he's probably number 2. Him and Artemis obviously still put out a lot of damage. If they haven't got that much escapes, but they don't need to escape when they've got all their gear. They just look at you and go, "Bye, see you later." Yeah.
Pretty much. Jumping on to the second thing we wanted you guys to check out. It's titled More Erez Spoils. And go ahead and post it there. And we'll go ahead and bring it up on stream here. So, a lot to go over here. Just little stuff. We'll kind of pick at it. Mercury seems like it's going to be the next god, the way it comes out. Apparently, he's, like, super fast. Like, he's, like, I feel like, for what I'm reading, he's, like, Kronos on steroids. When, like, Kronos has, like, several items in attack speed and has the speed buff. For what it's sounding like, Mercury is going to be, like, nuts. Like, super fast, and he is going to be an assassin. So what are your thoughts, Wristy, on having somebody faster than Kronos?
I think, isn't Mercury kind of like a Hermes kind
of look? It's the same thing. Yep, just a different name depending on it. Yep.
Yeah, it's faster than Kronos. Kronos is ridiculously stupid.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got, like, obviously his movement speed, then his steroid buff. If he moves faster than Kronos, I could say that being a bit much.
Yeah.
But then again, he's supposed to move really quickly. I don't know how to do it, really. If he moves faster than Kronos, it could get a bit silly.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be hard for him to hit his skill shots. but it's also going to be hard for people to hit him at the same time. So I'm eager to see how things work out.
Dance around, isn't it? It's going to be like, hello, try and catch me.
I feel like for Arena, it's going to be great. For running away and Conquest, it's going to be good. But like once you get on top of him, I don't know. I don't know.
It's one of the ones we're going to have to see the skills, to be honest. Until we see it, we're just going to be like, I don't know.
Because
really.
Loki all of a sudden like vanishes and appears right on top of you and like melts you. Is that what it's going to feel like with this guy? Like he all of a sudden he just like plows right into you, flies down the lane, and ching, 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 done. It's
I think the funny thing is going to be like, obviously, he's going to... Instead of Loki stealthing and being on top of you, you're actually going to see this guy coming. But you're not going to be able to do anything about it because he's coming straight at you and you can't run away.
Yeah.
What I'd like to see is more like for the ultimate is like a Juggernaut from Dota 2, which for his ultimate is he does 7 attacks and he's invulnerable for the full thing, but he kind of like blinks.
Sure.
So literally think of Loki's ultimate, but blinks to 7 different targets or the same target. Like he does 7 strikes. And goes to him, slashes, goes to him, slash, and it does that all the way through. So that's the kind of ultimate that I'd like to see.
Sure.
So if he's in like a big team fight, he's hitting everybody about once or twice possibly. So that would be an interesting one to see actually what they do in the end.
Yeah.
That's something I could see for his ultimate. But
we also had Erez spoil here. Vulcan's going to get a rework, so kind of happy to see that. But then Jump is now coming back. I don't know if some of you guys were in the game, but Jump was actually in the very beginning of the game as kind of just a random ability. It didn't do anything. It was just kind of a little hop. And they're reintroducing it to the game. So I think it's going to be kind of funny because the first thing that comes to mind, well, 2 things that come to mind. First off is playing like Counter-Strike and being able to bunny hop in order to go faster down a lane. The second thing that comes to mind is World of Warcraft and how I would hop everywhere I went. Like I would just be running and hop. It was just that habit. Everybody did it. Everybody did it.
I did that. My girlfriend did it as well when she was playing Smite. She goes, they've taken Jump away. What am I supposed to do now? It was like, what's going on? I'd love to see how this works with Cripple as well. Yeah. If you get the Cripple come in, imagine if you can just jump out of the edge.
Sure.
Or quickly jump out. Like jump just to kind of avoid a little bit. That would be good to see. But yeah, Jump. Yeah, that would be weird to see it come back because your thumb's always sitting there going, what do I do now? What do I do? Let's just jump. Let's go for it.
So on top of that, we also have Australian servers will most likely be part of the Tencent decides what to do. So pretty much they're saying, hey, Australians, you guys will be getting servers at some point, but it's going to come down to Tencent. Keep in mind, Tencent pretty much runs the show for the Asian market, and now it sounds like Australia, which is an opportunity there. So that's kind of mentioned. Let's see what else here. There's going to be a Gold Agni, Naja, and Vamana. We know that you're going to get the Naja one. Voice packs for Mercury, Kali, and Arachne. They said a couple weeks for Jump, so they didn't say it's coming out right now, but in the meantime, they're going to do some improvements to Spectator, Wristy, so you should be happy about that. They didn't say exactly what. Oh, look at this. Next patch has the Spectator mode able to reduce the height of trees and structures. So that's kind of interesting. It's like 2 views.
I just flatten it out so I don't have to look at them?
Well, it would be nice to see that because one thing I ran into was, I don't know if you remember, on top of some of the jungle buffs and the harpies, there used to be like domes, like a building there. And at one patch, there was no rooftop for the spectators when you're going ahead and casting and stuff like that. But then the next patch, they went ahead and re-added them. And I remember reaching out to some of the Hi-Rez employees and being like, why? Like, now when I click over to go ahead and spectate and talk about, okay, like, we're now seeing Naja get the blue buff. But hang on, I have to zoom into the building and go into the building to see her compared to going over top. So I'm really happy to see this change because now they're getting back to this where, like, you can adjust the height of things and stuff like that. So
I think what I'd like to see, to be honest, a more dynamic kind of, like, I don't know how they're going to do it with the Unreal Engine, though, but if a player goes behind a scenery and it's the scenery, basically the scenery in between the line of the caster camera and the player, the scenery should fade out so you can see the player behind and what's going on. I'd love to see that. I don't think they'll be able to do it, or it'd be a bit like technical to do, but that's the sort of thing that I'd prefer to see rather than reducing it down. Yeah, I'd rather it just kind of fade out as they go past it, and rather than actually have to drop it down. But they're making do with what the tools they got. I'd like to see actually what happens with some of the structures.
Sure.
We'll see.
Sure.
Or it would be like You remember going from the old fire giant mountain, and then when you went into isometric, it would like cut off half of it. They might do that. It's just like cut off the half of the structures on a toggle, so you could just kind of see. But we'll just have to kind of wait and see how they actually go with that, though.
Now, this is an interesting one. They're looking for suggestions on Reddit for director mode so that they can improve it to the point where it can be used full time. Like you wouldn't need. This is them trying to get away from using observer. You realize that? Like all other esports have dedicated observers, and now what we're seeing is Hi-Rez is trying to move in the direction of no observer and to have their in-game AI, and I don't like that at all. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
You're never going to beat a dedicated observer, because a dedicated observer is going to see a lot more, or kind of get a feel of what's going to go on more than actually a computer is.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Like it's a quick little spiel. Like if you're just jumping into a replay and you want to have it on director mode, fine. But if you have casters trying to cast and you have to cast what the game is showing you, it's not going to work out. Now, this might be, it says spectator mode with the note there, but this is most likely going to be something that I would see more in a replay versus spectator mode. I think they need to enable spectator mode where you could go ahead and have a dedicated observer and have it labeled. Like, I'd like to see when you jump in as a spectator, it asks you what role that you want to fill. Like, observer, caster 1, and caster 2. And then those are the 3 slots available for it. And it would be great because then the casters would automatically work off of the observer's camera. And the roles would automatically be determined. And you could get different controls. Like if you're an observer, you should have completely different controls than what your casters would, you know?
I'm not sure about that. I like some of the ideas, but then I'm sitting there going, I wouldn't like to be stuck with watching the observer. I'd like to have my own camera if I was doing it. I think that the director mode one will be... One thing it's going to stop, it will take off Hi-Rez Bart from spectating. Well, not spectating, but actually like being the observer for tournaments. They'd actually just get directed mode in. But I think what they'll end up doing, instead of getting a dedicated observer in tournaments, they'll put one computer on director mode and then let the casters do what they want.
Yeah, I guess
it's still going to be weird, but yeah.
There's no good way around it because the casters necessarily should not be going ahead and having to deal with the camera angles and stuff like that. Like, it is an art, I will tell you. Controlling the spectator mode to make it look fluent, to give you the best angles. It's an art, and it takes tons and tons of practice. And if you can have one person be amazing at controlling spectator mode, and then have the casters focus on what they're good at. Casters are good at casting. Casters should not have to be good at controlling the camera, though. To have to do both at the same time, it ends up taking their focus away from casting, and they're focusing more on getting that right camera angle, showing you some of the information. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's got to be a better way than what they have now, though.
Yeah. We'll just have to see what they do with the spectator mode when they change it. Hex would be cool.
You're reading ahead. Erez mentions a hex would be cool, which a hex is, you go ahead and cast that on someone else, and it goes ahead and turns you into an animal, kind of like what you would see in, oh my gosh, what was it? Oh, shamans in World of Warcraft, a hex. There was kind of that hex ability, so kind of cool, something a little bit different there. He did mention there's a possibility of that in the future.
I'd love to see how that's cut. I'm guessing that's going to be like, it'd be a very standard cast bit.
As long as I can turn Wristy into a sheep and just keep casting sheep, that would be awesome.
Completely CC me out of a fight, that would be fun.
That's what I feel like. I'm going to turn you into a sheep, and I'm going to go kill your tower, and then I'm going to turn around and turn you into a sheep again, and again, and again.
That's solo lane would be.
All you would do is stack cooldown reduction. So just keep on coming up.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, think of how much damage you could do to a hex target.
Oh my gosh.
Especially now.
Usually like with WoW, it would be broken if you did attack that CC. But anyways, it was mentioned in the spoils from Erez, so something to keep track of there. On top of that, he said new player records today. Thanks for the support. Not much on a spoiler. Let's see what else. Blah, 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 blah. And that was really it, guys, that we saw from Erez. Just kind of updating you guys on the latest and greatest on kind of what we found in the community. The last thing I want to remind you guys of is the event coming up next week here. We'll promote it this week and then also next week. This is the Smite Challenge for Charity. Once again, this is over at SmiteGame.com if you guys want to check it out. This is going to be a 24-hour stream. I'm not sure yet. I think what I think this is coming. It starts here October 4th at 8 p.m. And it'll continue on through there. Let's see here. I'm trying to read, see what's going on. To October 5th at 8 p.m. And in there, they're going to have Team Dignitas versus Denial ESports. And it looks like the creatures are going to be there too. They're talking about, and I'm interested to see who's going to be doing the 24-hour stream. Is it going to be the Hi-Rez guys? Is it going to just be like a normal stream? You know, the different streamers doing it. Is it going to be the creatures are going to do the 24-hour stream? Really interested to see who that is. But the biggest thing I'm interested to find out about is the Team Dignitas versus Denial ESports. What type of format are they going to do? Is it going to be best of 7? A best of 5? We haven't seen a best of 5 or a best of 7. What would you like to see, Wristy? Compare it, because you can't do a round robin, and there's no certain bracket style, and I feel like a best of 3 is too boring.
Well, there's only 2 of them, innit? So yeah, I'd like to possibly see a minimum best of 5. Minimum.
Yeah.
I
mean, I know that's a lot of time.
That's like a whole day of casting.
Well, it could. That's a lot of time though, because each. Okay, I like the best of 5 idea, but I don't. With some of the changes they made recently to late game, you could look at 40 minutes to 60 minutes for a typical game now.
So I'd stick with the best of 5. Like I said, best of 7 would probably be like all day. You're looking at about best of 7. You're looking at about 6 hours of game time. Yep. Potentially. So
that's just game time. That's not even like prep time between games. It's not even breaks between games. So I reviewing this, I guarantee it's going to be a best of 3. It's sad, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a best of 3. I mean, and I don't think that's enough. I feel like I really don't think that's enough. But we'll have to see.
The problem you get with a best of 3, if it's a whitewash, it's 2 games. You get a maximum of 2. Well, you'll get 2 games out of it. Best of 5, you can possibly get a minimum of 3 games. Well, you get a minimum of 3 games.
Sure.
And a best of 7, it's a minimum of.
And guys, these teams were selected from the results of PAX, by the way. I did see a lot of posts on Reddit where people were like complaining, like Team Dignitas and Denial ESports are not the best teams to date right now, blah, blah, blah. And they did post that this comes from the rankings at PAX as to what had come up there. So that's kind of how that works there.
Yeah. What we got Streamer of the Week as well. Yep. Little Mamacita. I'm just going to call it Little Mamacita. It's not spelled that way, but that's the way it is. Yep. Tribes Ascend streamer and Smite streamer. You probably might have seen her on Smite game. She does that from time to time, so that's just our streamer of the week. Yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and check her out. Just kind of, she is actually streaming right now. Don't leave the stream, but Little Mamacita does stream on Smite game, and she is an up-and-coming solo streamer on her own stream. She streams all different games, though, so make sure you go check her out. She's like American, but has like a crazy Spanish accent, too, so make sure you do check it out. We try to highlight one streamer a week. So this week's streamer is Little Mamacita. We also got a website of the week, which is actually the Facebook page for Smite. So it's facebook.com/Smite game. They do announcements and a few web series. They've got the art show with Hi-Rez, Enna and I can't pronounce them. You can do that. Their names. Enna and Kala. Yeah, that's the one. There you go. Lightning round with Hi-Rez Duke and the Smite Recall, which I actually saw this week. So I was like, I know that idea. I was looking at that going, damn you, Hi-Rez, damn you. But no, it's a good little kind of update show to kind of watch. Obviously, the art show wasn't. I kind of stopped watching when it got to the art show, so I didn't see those, and I didn't even know about the lightning round. So that's a new one to me. Yeah, there's a lot of questions. Like, there's a lot of interest in the art scene right now for Smite, and the reason I say that is because there's actually going to be. I saw there's actually going to be. I think it's called Smite Art TV, and it's actually going to be a Twitch channel dedicated to artists, and it's just going to be a live stream, it's almost going to go off of that 24-hour live stream format where they're just going to have artists up there sketching all the time. Yeah, it would. To be honest, I kind of really like that idea for like. Think of upcoming artists and stuff. They could obviously submit their stuff to Hi-Rez to see if the quality's up there. And no, it's not Wristy US. Go away.
Wristy US, yeah.
No way. No way. It'll be good for like. You see it a lot of the times as well. Like, actually, you got the Dota to like item creator bits. You actually see people creating the items for the characters on there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people love watching that. And also it shows off the artist's skills and in the fact that the artist can go to like game companies like Hi-Rez and stuff and go, well, this is what I do. It kind of does a bit of a portfolio and you've got people watching. And a lot of people like watching artistry kind of come alive.
Sure.
And you'll learn a lot as well. Like upcoming artists learn a lot to say, well, how do I do this when I'm trying to do this effect? And then they can actually just watch the effect as they're going on and obviously learn the tricks of the trade as well, just from the Hi-Rez people and anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I could see myself going ahead and throwing up on, like, at work and throwing it up and just putting it off to the side and following it along. Like, to me, sitting there watching it, I'd get kind of bored. But if I just checked it every once in a while, I'd be like, wow, look at the progress they're making. That's pretty cool. Because I'm the type of person that likes to watch, like, those speed drawings where, like, they show, like, over time what it turns into.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool there.
A friend of mine does that, and it looks really cool. I saw one of them, like, speed 3D modeler things. Did you ever see
Oh, for On Her? You talking about for On Her?
Well, there was one for Loki's daggers.
Oh, I didn't see that one, but I saw the Loki one.
I looked at it and I went, that just looks so cool.
Yeah.
When they speed it up and then they go, so you've taken a picture and you've shined it up a little bit, stretched it out, and it's like, how the hell did you do that?
No, I completely agree. All right, guys, so before we go ahead and close out the show, I want to let you guys know we are going to have an interview right after this show with, and it will be with, was Imaginary Team, now is Mortality ESports, and that is an EU team. So everything's about EU teams today, man. Mortality.
The best.
That's right. That's right.
Best, yeah.
Mortality Esports captain Epindary. So make sure you guys do check it out. It will be right after the giveaway. We'll go ahead and jump into that interview. You guys can also check out that interview individually as well after the show over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheSmiteUpdate. So before we go ahead and jump out, I want to make sure you guys do go ahead and check out our show sponsor here, tweakedaudio.com. Wristy and I are both supporting these earbuds. They're not just your typical earbuds. They have noise canceling ability. It isn't an active noise canceling, but it is a noise canceling earbud, the way that it does isolate your ear. Furthermore, it has a no tangle cord. I don't know if you guys can see it on stream, but it's a super thin cord, and I know Wristy loves that, having the no tangle feature.
It's great. I love that's to be honest, that is the best bit of the headphones. It literally is like a thin, like think of like a rectangle that's stretched out. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah,
Works really well.
So it's pretty sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link in chat along with the promo code. You guys can get 33% off plus free shipping anywhere in the world. So they start out around $30 US, but with the promo code, it takes you down to about $16, and you get free shipping anywhere. So regardless of where you live, you guys can get free shipping. So go check that out. Great website, tweakedaudio.com. I went ahead and posted it in chat. Before we go ahead and head out, Wristy, let's go ahead and take 3 questions from chat. So chat room, this is your opportunity. Please go ahead and post 3 questions that you do have, and we'll go ahead and answer them. Anything you guys would like, I'll have Wristy go ahead and pick the questions, and then we'll go ahead and give you guys our info to follow us. We'll do the gem code giveaway, and then we'll go ahead and roll the interview.
What's better, NA or EU? EU clearly. It wasn't a question, but I thought I'd just state it.
You cheater. You cheater.
Yeah, I gotta say it. Come on. It gets through that lull period. But yeah,
That's right.
EU's the best.
All right, so let's go ahead and take our first question.
So it's just a lot of people are like, what's the opinion on Thanatos?
Yep.
I like him. I still like him, to be honest. I haven't got to the point yet where he wasn't in the competitive matches, so I didn't obviously get to see him in a competitive scene.
Sure.
I haven't seen him. I don't think he's like overpowered, because literally every time I use him, I get into a fight and like for a fraction of the fight, I'm there. The rest of the time I'm running away because I'm hurt that badly. He's so squishy. They turn around, do a few hits on me, and it's like, I'm gonna die. I need to leave. So yeah, it's get in, get a quick kill, and get out. Or it basically you play him like any like assassin. Like a Loki or something like that. You shouldn't be anywhere near the fight when it goes off. You want to come in from around the back and pick a few people off that way. Because to be honest, by the time you get your ultimate on, you want to use your ultimate, but you're nearly dead by the time you get anywhere to use it. So it's really a weird one to
Yeah,
use.
with Thanatos, I found my thoughts on him is I like him. It's an interesting gameplay style, though, because if you're 1v1ing another god, it's fine. Okay, no big deal. But if it's a 1-on-2 combination, he's definitely running away, regardless of the gods he's facing. And I find him relying a lot on having like a tank or a bruiser available, and then them sneaking in to go ahead and do the damage. So I like Thanatos. I haven't played him a lot, though. I played him a little bit, but not a lot. But I will say, in Conquest, as a jungler, he's so good. Because as soon as I see that death indicator on top of me, I'm like, oh god, I'm dead. When I'm running away. Because most of the time, a good Thanatos will cast that and use his ultimate when you're like super low, trying to run away in lane. So he's not too bad. But it looks like we have a lot of other really good questions in chat. So, Wristy, go ahead and find another one.
I was just looking at why do you think Dignitas is so dominant? Is there not enough incentive for other teams to commit to training? It's not an incentive. It's just how much people want to work. Obviously, you know Dignitas like every day. They're 3 hours a day every day.
Sure.
For anybody to actually play that, that's not a big deal, to be honest.
Yeah.
3 hours a day, any streamer does that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the thing with Dignitas right now, and this is with any of the top teams, I'm not just focusing on Dignitas guys, is a lot of these guys have been playing the game since like right after Alpha, and you have a lot of teams coming into the scene now where they've been playing Smite for like a month or 2 months or 3 months. You're not going to jump into the scene and all of a sudden you're going to be up to par with them. They've seen the meta. They've seen the gods. They've played the gods. They've tested the gods. I mean, they are way ahead of the curve. I'm just talking about a lot of these top-tier competitive teams. So when a new team comes into the scene, they need to realize they are a year behind in some cases, depending on their skill set. And the big thing is, a lot of these players, which are like really great in ranked and have high elo in ranked, only play solo. Well, all of a sudden, you're now playing with people that have played in team atmospheres with that communication for over a year. It's completely different gameplay. So that's the big difference I would say between the two.
And they scrim against a lot of the top teams as well. They just, what was it? They were, before they went to PAX, they were doing a lot of like Reason Gaming scrims, not streaming it. So them guys helped them out, develop new tactics and stuff like that. So it's also a lot of who you know in the scene as well, because obviously you only get better by playing people either at your level or better than you. Like if you play the same people all the time, they're going to learn your strategy, means you have to think of something else and get better at it, obviously, and stuff like that. So it's a lot like that. It's progression. You got to keep working at it, get a bit hard, like just work hard at it. That's pretty much where it goes. And commitment. You need, for having a team of 5 people that are committed is the hardest thing than just playing. To have 5 people turn up, it's just
Yeah, I was a captain of a team back during Woggle, which was the kind of the first and only really season league that did come out, and we played every week. It was one match every week, and at first it started out great, but as time went on, players more and more couldn't make the matches because it just became so much of a commitment. And those of you guys wondering, if you guys have been around since Woggle, I was on Team Nemesis back in the day. Somebody had commented in chat, and we actually haven't done this in a while, and my plan is to add this into the show next week. So, Tragedy, and same thing with Tragedy I mentioned in chat about how we were going through a few gods each week and just kind of giving our opinions on their current status in Smite. I'm going to go ahead and add that into next week, and we'll start doing that each week because we kind of started that, but then we didn't continue it. Remember that, Wristy?
Yeah. So, it was mainly because I wanted to target a couple of gods, but then kind of backfired on how I used it and went, yeah, that's not quite how that worked out.
So, guys, we'll look into adding that to the show and doing that every week. And Wristy, let's go ahead and take one more question from chat.
Okay.
One more. Gotta be a good one. Gotta be a good
I
one.
know, because I looked at one and thought I'll go for that one just because I think it's funny and I've already got an answer for it. But I want to grab this one anyway. If you could design a skin for any god with no copyright issues, what would it be like?
I already have mine, but go ahead.
Yeah, my one was the Apollo cab skin.
Oh, the Cash
Yeah.
Cab skin.
Well, yeah, you can do the New York cab. Could you imagine that? His chariot is a yellow cab. I think that would be fantastic.
And he's got the bald head. Bald head like Wristy. You know, be good to go. Mine would be Iron Man for Ra. Because of his ultimate when he's like, bah! And it's just like Iron Man. And so I think it would be perfect. And I really would like to see that one there. Chat room, if you guys have any ideas for any of the skins, go ahead and post them in chat as well. It's always good to see some of the really good ideas there.
Someone said like Hitman. Hitman Apollo would be quite good.
Yeah. Hitman Apollo would be good too.
But then you'd have to lose his hair. You'd have to be a bald man for it.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's true. Well, before we go ahead, guys, and do the giveaway, and then we're going to jump in after the giveaway. We're going to jump into the interview. Wristy, when you're not on my channel and doing the Smite update, where can people find you?
Running as far away from you as possible.
I
am youtube.com/WristyUK, at Twitter @WristyUK, and twitch.tv/WristyUK. So pretty simple to find me. I'm all there. I do have a Facebook channel, Facebook one, Wristy UK as well.
Okay.
I actually had some people following me that recently, and I went,
nice.
"Oh yeah, I've still got that. I forgot about that."
Yeah, right. Don't forget, you got to update.
I know it's so much hassle doing the Facebook one. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah. So,
all right.
Yeah.
And guys, you can check me out at OctaneProGaming.com. Pretty much go over there. My Twitch information's over there if you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening to this on iTunes or on Android. Also, keep in mind, guys, those of you guys that are in the live stream, you can actually watch this entire show on your iPhone. You can listen to it on your iPhone only. There's an audio version. You can also do it on your Android, too. So a lot of people actually say they listen to this on their way to work and stuff like that. You can check out those versions over at OctaneProGaming.com. So if you guys want to check it out, all that information is over there. You can check out my Twitter information. And then also all my YouTube latest videos are over there as well. I have quite a series on called the Smite Classroom, which is a beginner series. And then not only do I have the Smite Update VODs over there, I also have a show which I started 2 weeks ago, which will be tomorrow night, called Smite Talk. And that's where it allows you guys to go ahead and call in. And you guys, so tomorrow night, check out this channel around 9:30. You can go ahead and call in and give your opinion on different topics within the Smite scene. So that's called Smite Talk. And check that out once again over at OctaneProGaming.com. So outside of that, Wristy, any last things before we go ahead and do our gem code?
No, they keep going on about the Wristy's US side, Wristy NA, Wristy US.
There you
I
go.
think there was another one that was quite funny. Other than that, no, the chat's been quite funny today.
All right, let's go ahead. Guys, I'm going to get...
Hang on, one more.
Sure.
The Mario Guan Yu skin. His steed would be Yoshi, heals with a mushroom, and dashes with stars.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be funny.
That'd be pretty cool. All right, guys. So once again, the requirements to win the 400 gems. First off, you have to be logged into your Twitch account. So if you guys are not, please take this opportunity to do that. Second requirement is you have to be a follower of this stream. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, this doesn't necessarily apply to you, but make sure you guys do check out the live stream. Info is in the comments section. So make sure you guys are following this live stream. Please take this opportunity to do that now. And finally, you have to put in the code for tonight. And I want to go ahead and give a shout out, actually. We actually had a person on Reddit go ahead and sponsor the code giveaway tonight. So I'd like to go ahead and give a shout out tonight. And if you guys can go over and follow this person on Twitch, I would really appreciate it. He actually went ahead and decided to sponsor tonight's giveaway. This is Odiman1231. So I'm going to go ahead and post his link in chat. And if you guys can, just go over and follow him on Twitch. Just to say thank you for going ahead and giving away the gems tonight. He didn't have to, but much love goes out to him. If you guys would like to go ahead and sponsor one of the future episodes for the giveaway, please go ahead and just send me a private message on Twitch. I would appreciate it. But once again, Special thanks to him, Odiman1231. I'll put the link once again in chat. Please make sure you go over and follow him. Really great guy. So the last thing you guys need to do to win is just go ahead and post the special keyword into chat. I'm using the roll feature, which is built in to Google. It's kind of like a little plug-in. And you guys just have to type this in chat. There's no capitals or anything like that. There's no hashtag. And I will roll, and it'll go ahead and pick one random person that has gone ahead and posted this in chat. And that is Wristy US. That is the word for tonight. Wristy US.
Blasphemy.
Wristy US. So type that in chat. That is the keyword for tonight's giveaway. Wristy US. That's right. Ha! I have the power.
I'm Cash Cab. I'm now Wristy US.
That's
Jesus,
right.
I need to live there now.
That's
I'll
right.
make people happy.
That's right.
Be.
So we'll give. Go ahead.
I just started something on Reddit as well. Tiermonster.com is actually looking for streamers for a 24-hour, not 24-hour, just a regular stream, like Smite games. So if people want to be streamers and stuff, go and actually check that one out.
Wristy, you should check it out, sir. You should check it out. I was talking to Dry Bear today about it.
Yeah, I need to test my stability on the connection first.
That's true.
Because I still haven't got my new one in. So if the connection doesn't work, I probably won't. But I might give him a shout out because he knows me.
Definitely.
Sort of.
Definitely. All right, guys, we have people posting Wristy US in chat. Once again, the requirements are you have to be logged into your Twitch account. You have to be a follower of this stream, and you have to put in chat Wristy US, which is the keyword. I will go ahead and roll. Keep in mind, guys, what I will do is if you do win, I will ask you to go ahead and send me your in-game name. Reason being, I'll ask because I'm going to take your Twitch name and your in-game name and send that to Odiman1231 on Twitch, and then he'll send you the giveaway code. He has that giveaway code. So once again, I just need you. Well, actually, I can just go ahead and take your Twitch name. Twitch name will work. And I'll go ahead and give it to him. He's the one who's sponsoring the giveaway tonight, guys, and so he'll just send you the code. Once again, all I need, I'll just take your Twitch name. So, anyways, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give away this lovely 400 gems. And make sure you guys stick around. As soon as the gems are given out and we say our goodbyes, we are going to have an interview with Epindary of Mortality ESports. So make sure you hang in there. Giving away the 400 gem code in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go ahead and roll the dice. Rolling the dice, congratulations to Renegade28. Renegade28, you have 1 minute to post in chat, sir. 1 minute to post in chat. What was your thing there you posted in chat? Minion Army stuff is announced in via emails.
Yeah, someone asked if any Minion Army giveaway. So I was like, if you're doing a giveaway, you announce it through like.
Yeah. If you guys win anything, I announce that through the Minion Army update, which that information is below. And there is Renegade28. So Renegade28, I will send your Twitch name to Odiman, and he will go ahead and get you all hooked up with your good stuff, with your 400 gems. Congratulations to you. Give him a day or two because I am going to send it to him tonight. And hopefully he gets to it there. Well, without further ado, guys, myself and Wristy are going to head out. Once again, this is episode 26 of the Smite Update. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next week for episode 27. And we will go ahead, guys, and start to roll the interview with Mortality ESports Epindary now. Take care, guys. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another special segment of the Smite Update. My name is Octane Pro, and I am joined by a special host this week. We will have a guest host here, Epindary. Epindary, how's it going?
It's going good.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Epindary is joining us from across the pond, over on the EU side over there, and he's previously of Imaginary Team, now currently the captain of Mortality ESports. So I'd like to thank him for coming on, and I guess we'll kind of just jump into it. For the community members that don't know, who is Epindary, And what is your involvement within the Smite scene?
About involvement in the Smite scene, there's not much. I just play Smite.
Okay.
Sometimes I argue with people on Reddit, and sometimes I give some helpful feedback in Reddit also.
Sure.
And maybe in the future I'll start streaming if I can upgrade my PC to give back to community something.
And on top of that, you're a competitive player now.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, let's go ahead and jump back and take a look at. So, as a kid, did you play video games? And if so, what type of games have you played over the years?
I think the first game I played was on Nintendo 64,
Okay.
Super Mario.
Hmm.
And after that, me and my brother got a PlayStation 1. And we had some cool games on there, FIFA, NBA, different sport games, some fighting games,
Mm-hmm.
and we played those a lot, non-stop, every day. And after that, when we got our first PC, I got a lot into MMOs,
Okay.
MMORPGs
Mm-hmm.
especially. And one of my first was, I think, Turf Battles. It's a quite small MMORPG.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I really grew into shooter games, especially CS 1.6. And I
Excellent.
played that for many years.
Yeah, huge fan of CS:GO there. So, I guess prior to Smite, you know, were you involved in any other MOBAs, or did you go right from like an MMORPG right into Smite? How did that exactly come about?
You could say I went into Smite pretty new to MOBAs. I only
Okay.
had played like On and League a little bit and a little bit of Dota, maybe like total of 15 games
Okay.
total of each MOBA.
So you didn't really actually play a lot of it, and then you just all of a sudden jumped into Smite.
Yeah.
What exactly, tell us about the first time you played Smite and what attracted you to Smite.
Can't remember exactly, but I now if I think back, I think it's when I started out, everybody who joined the game was so new that were no smurfs. I didn't get stumped, and I think that kept me in the game the most. That I felt like I'm good and I can compete with these other normal players.
Hmm. That's a good point. That's a great. It's always a shame when you join into a game and you're just getting stomped through it, and the game is so advanced and past you that you just have such a hard time. It's not really a lot of fun, and I can understand
Yeah.
how it kind of worked out really well for you actually. So taking a look at it, how long have you been playing Smite, and what drew you from a casual player into the competitive side?
It's my competitive nature, I would say.
Okay.
But overall, I like to just want to compete. I want to be better. I want to see if I'm better than these guys, or these guys.
Hmm.
Just I wanted to try it out. It took me a long time to form this team. I hopped around. I made different teams, and finally got to this. That
So,
awesome team I have right now.
oh yeah, definitely. And how long have you been playing Smite? Do you remember when you started?
I haven't checked when my account was made, but I think it was June 27th when I
June
made
20. Wow.
my account.
That's pretty precise. Okay, okay, pretty cool. And looking ahead now, just within the past few weeks here, how did you get hooked up with Imaginary Team originally?
Bunken and me,
Hmm.
old friend of mine, just wanted to make a competitive team. After we disbanded with another team, we found 5 players and we had no name.
Okay.
And on TeamSpeak channel, I just put imaginary team for random and we just kept it.
Hey, it's a pretty
And
cool team name.
I think also.
So moving ahead, Imaginary Team was picked up by Mortality Esports. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that move from Imaginary to Mortality, and what prompted you and your teammates to make the move from one to the other all of a sudden?
The terms and all the agreements we talked over with Cooper, our team manager,
Okay.
were great. Also, everything about Mortality, how they handled us. They were really professional. They were easy to talk to. Anything you ask, got answer really quickly. Everything was really, really good from them.
Sure, sure. And I guess my first question, just within that, was, how did they originally approach you? Did they send you a message on Skype? Did they reach out to you via email? How did that initially start?
Cooper messaged me in game
Okay.
and told me as a manager of Mortality Esports and said if they would want to offer us a sponsorship for our team and asked for my Skype and therefore we started talking a lot about it and finally got to this.
Excellent, excellent. So, you talked a little bit about, sponsorship and contracts and stuff. As the scene develops, do you feel that player contracts will start to become the norm?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a lot all around esports lately, and I think and there's been some incidents where organizations rip off players who
Yeah,
don't have contracts, and it's just so much safer, and there's really no cons to it if the player correctly reads their contract and doesn't get ripped off due to that.
good to know there. And currently, you're actually the captain of Mortality Esports. What responsibilities as a captain do you hold? And as the captain, is one of those responsibilities making the call outs in game, or does someone else do that?
In game, I do mainly all the calls,
Okay.
and outside of Smite, rather outside of game, I just try to set up scrims and try to get everybody on,
Okay.
just so we can practice and see
Okay.
what everybody's up to. Do they have time today, etc.
Okay. And
No, not much to do.
is it pretty easy the way the competitive scene is now to find teams to scrimmage, or is there not really a good system in order to do that right now for you guys?
There really isn't a good system. We have done this, and other teams have done this. You set up scrims, you message somebody, 30 minutes, let's go, let's scrim, and either us or the enemy backs off, says like, "Oh, this dude has to go away," and you haven't contacted really any other team, and then
Mm,
you're just sitting there for half an hour finding another scrim,
sure.
and it really takes up a lot of your practice time.
It sounds like that somebody needs to develop like a website, or Smite needs to come up with a system in order to make like it easy for team captains to communicate, so that you guys can kind of set these preset scrimmages up. From what it sounds like.
Yeah, definitely, it will help a lot.
Moving forward here, recently Hi-Rez Studios introduced the Solo Mastery Conquest game mode. What are your thoughts on that versus ranked, and have you had a chance to play much of it?
Yeah, I played quite a lot of it. I feel it's at current state, a lot of people don't have a lot of masteries,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes down to picking for yourself, and that's not what draft mode is about.
Mm-hmm.
It should be you talk with your team what everybody wants, talking who goes where, what cards to pick. But currently it's just who stop Pilo picks for himself, calls his role, next two people, and that's how it is right now. I feel it's if everybody had masters in every card, it would be pretty much the same as ranked. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's not worth it right now, how it is.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I could see it definitely plateauing off eventually once everybody has mastered. A large portion of people have mastered a lot of the gods. It will kind of just turn back to that ranked type of gameplay. So that's very true, very true. Within the next few months, I'm sorry. Jump back here. Looking at the current state of Smite, what do you feel needs to be changed, or completed before Hi-Rez can go ahead and release the game?
A lot of polishing, bug fixes, glitches. I found a lot of those
Mm-hmm.
and reported those also. And I also feel balancing the game is a bad state right now. Just my opinion. How the game works.
Now,
Game
do
has
you
so much skill shots and it has too much CC for skill shots.
Now, do you feel it's the maps need more balance, or the gods, or both?
I feel the map is somewhat balanced. I don't really like the mid harpies,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, I think it's quite fine. And for guards, I really don't like CC that much.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Should be more like if you hit your really hard skill shot, it will be more rewarding than just your whole team has CC and you hit that easy skill shot that enemy stun stun locked for 4 seconds or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Good to know. And moving forward, within the next month, we will see Tencent introduce Smite into the Asian market, with Smite server becoming active in China. Do you feel that this will change the meta in any way for the EU and NA scene?
For a long time, I feel it won't affect a lot, maybe a little bit, but I know Asian market is quite hard to access. They have their own websites, and you need to register there to see the tournaments, and it's hard for EU and NA people to access what Asian market does
Mm-hmm.
in Smite. But if it comes down to offline tournaments more and Asian scene goes more open, I think it will definitely change some point of views of EU and NA when they look at Asian
Sure.
players.
Sure, definitely. And last question for today. Looking to the future, we have the Hi-Rez Studios $100,000 tournament, where we will have the NA, EU, and Asian market combined into one giant tournament bracket. What are your thoughts on all the scenes finally coming together to crown the best in the world?
It's it's the greatest thing that can happen, to be honest. You see how all like different scenes use different metas, use different strategies, use different cards, and it's really fun and exciting to see how it plays out.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'd like to thank you, Epindary, for coming on the show. Best of luck to you and your team, Mortality Esports, in the next few weeks as you start to get your feet wet under the Mortality Esports title. Is there anywhere that people can find you? Do you have a Twitter? Are you going to start streaming soon? Anything like that?
You can find my stream on twitch.tv/epindary. I mainly stream horror games there right now. Rarely, but I stream.
Excellent.
And my Twitter would be twitter.com/epindary, I believe. And
Awesome.
that should be it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for spending some time with me today in the interview. And once again, guys, make sure that you do check out additional Smite Update interviews and shows, along with several podcasts over at Twitch or YouTube.com/TheSmiteUpdate. I'll see you guys next time.